picks for week 2 were better than my picks for week 1, but I still trail Madden overall. Neither of our records are all that great, but I'm confident now that I've seen the teams for who they are that I'll gain the advantage in week 3. The Patriots will likely be starting Jacoby Brissett at quarterback this week, with wide receiver Julian Edelman serving as the backup. So far, Belichick has been working his magic for the Patriots in their 2-0 start, but I think it's time to fall back to earth a little bit, and Bill O'Brien comes back to New England to get a win for his surging Texans. I'm picking the Texans. I was so shocked to see that Madden was still picking New England to win this game, so I went and checked the player stats to make sure that Jacoby Brissett was in fact starting in this game. And sure enough, when I went to the player stats, he was the starter. And the reason that the Texans probably lose this game is because Madden predicts that Brock Osweiler will throw 3 interceptions against them. The Cardinals rebounded last week while Rex Ryan was busy firing a scapegoat in his offensive coordinator, Greg Roman. I think the Bills are still a mess, but managed to play a close game against the Cardinals. In the end, the superior team comes out on top. I'm picking the Cardinals. Madden and I disagree once again, and they have the home team winning this game. The Raiders and Titans have both had up and down games this season, but I think the Raiders have the superior roster and the superior coaching, which ultimately wins them the game. I'm picking the Raiders. Once again, Madden and I disagree. They have the Titans winning at home and passing for a ton of yards on the Raiders, which could actually happen. The Redskins have looked bad, while the Giants look like the class of the NFC East so far. The games in this division tend to be a toss-up. I want to pick the Redskins as my upset of the week, but I don't have enough faith in them to do so. I think we're seeing a full franchise collapse from the coaching staff to the secondary to the quarterback. I'm picking the Giants. For a change, Madden and I agree, and they have the Redskins turning the ball over 3 times in their loss to the Giants. The Browns are having a nightmare of a season, even by their standards. Losing their top 2 starting quarterbacks and now rookie wide receiver Corey Coleman for an extended amount of time leaves them picking up scraps to try and fill a roster. The Dolphins need this game to save their season, and it's the perfect time to have the Browns on your schedule. I'm picking the Dolphins. Madden's actually picking the Browns to win this game over the Dolphins, and Miami may riot if this ends up being the case. The Ravens stole one from the Browns last week when they probably should have lost, while the Jaguars were busy getting their ass whipped by the Chargers. Gus Bradley is lucky he wasn't fired on the spot after that game, but he can't have too many poor performances like that and keep his job. The Jaguars are up against the wall right now, so I'm picking the Jaguars. Madden and I also agree that the Jaguars will beat the Ravens in a close game at home. The Lions and Packers both had letdown games last week. Aaron Rodgers has literally been putting up numbers comparable to Blaine Gabbert. The poor Lions are going to take the wrath of Aaron Rodgers this week. I'm picking the Packers. Madden predicts that the Lions are going to get revenge over the Packers and Aaron Rodgers for their Hail Mary last year. The Broncos have continued to win with defense, masking Trevor Siemian at quarterback. I think they run into a team that can equal them in defense yet has a much superior offense this week. I'm picking the Bengals. Madden and I both agree that the Bengals defense is just going to suffocate the Broncos offense and hold them to only 16 points. Sam Bradford looked really impressive on Sunday night against the Packers, but the Vikings lost Adrian Peterson to a torn meniscus and they placed left tackle Matt Khalil on injured reserve. In what should be a very low scoring game, I'm picking the Panthers. So taking Matt Khalil and Adrian Peterson out of the Vikings depth chart gets them spanked on the road by the Panthers. The Buccaneers came back to earth last week when they had to face the Cardinals' hybrid defense, while the Rams' season was pretty much made by winning their home opener in LA against the rival Seahawks. Jeff Fisher doesn't get to 7-9 by winning back-to-back games. I'm picking the Buccaneers. Madden has a thing for the Rams, and they have them beating the Bucs on the road. The 49ers defense has been surprisingly tough this season, and the Seahawks looked really bad against the Rams last week. The Rams seem to have the Seahawks number, and the Seahawks seem to have the 49ers number, so I'm picking the Seahawks. Madden predicts that the Seahawks are going to get back on track this week and dominate the 49ers at home. The Jets offense looked really good against the Bills, but that could have been more of a product of how badly the Ryan brothers have messed up the Bills' defense. The Chiefs struggled a little bit against the Texans, but it seemed more like the ball was literally bouncing the Texans' way every single time. That doesn't happen at Arrowhead. I'm picking the Chiefs. Madden predicts that the Jets are going to continue to score at will and win an overtime game on the road against the Chiefs. The Chargers have surprised me with their dominance in both games this year, minus the fourth quarter against the Chiefs. I was riding the Colts bandwagon hard at the beginning of the season, but I've jumped off quickly. That'll probably bite me in the ass this week, but I'm picking the Chargers. Madden predicts that the Chargers don't have any problems in the fourth quarter in this game, and they score 21 points to win 35-17 over the Colts. This battle for Pennsylvania is actually a pretty interesting one considering both teams come in 2-0. Carson Wentz has been really impressive in his 2 starts, but the Steelers are one of the best teams in the league, and I think their defense is being underrated this year, and they bring the rookie quarterback a little bit back down to earth. I'm picking the Steelers. In this Madden simulation, the Steelers hold Carson Wentz to 164 passing yards, and the Steelers beat the Eagles 27 on the road. The Bears got embarrassed on Monday Night Football against the Eagles. I think the Bears are going to be competing with the Browns all season long for the #1 overall pick. I'm picking the Cowboys. This game definitely has the makings of a trap game for the Cowboys, and they have them losing, not only losing, but getting spanked by the Bears 26-7 at home on Sunday Night Football. These Falcons versus Saints games always seem to be on Monday night and never seem to disappoint. Don't pick against Drew Brees in the Superdome on a national stage. I'm picking the Saints. Madden's also expecting a big game between the Falcons and the Saints on Monday Night Football, as they have 48 combined points being scored in the 4th quarter. That's going to do it for this week's picks, guys. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Go ahead and leave your picks down there too, and I'll see you guys next week.